Welcome to today's deep dive. We are tracing, a pretty wild week of algorithmic battle logs from July 13th through the 17th.
Yes, specifically looking at two distinct logic systems from Team AI Lab.
Right. We've got Team Mountain Climbers representing equilibrium or, mean reversion logic, going up against Team Wave Riders representing surging momentum logic.
It's a classic matchup.
It really is. Now, before we jump into the numbers, a very strict mission statement for you, the listener. We are here solely to share research data logs to analyze algorithm behavior.
Right, just looking at the data.
Exactly. There are absolutely no financial recommendations here, no buy or sell advice, and zero predictions about the future.
Yeah, we are purely observers dissecting a laboratory stress test, basically. We want to see how these two fundamentally opposite coding philosophies react when the market environment just radically shifts.
And let's trace that trajectory because the dramatic arc of this week is intense. I mean, early on, Monday through Wednesday, the market felt like peacetime.
It really did. By Wednesday, the mountain climbers were thriving.
Yeah, they hit a peak with 12 active units, meaning 12 individual trading bots, holding positive points. Their season score jumped to a very healthy positive 51.3.
And outperforming the Nikkei 225 by 4.4 points.
Wow.
Which tells us their equilibrium logic was functioning perfectly. They were operating on a negative feedback loop. So when the market dipped slightly, they bought. When it peaked, they sold.
Right, actively dampening volatility.
Exactly. And extracting profit from a ranging sideways market.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because if their logic was acting like, say, a perfectly tuned, smart thermostat, keeping a room at 70 degrees,
Right.
Thursday and Friday just changed everything. It wasn't just a heat wave, it was like someone blew out the windows during a blizzard.
That's a great way to put it.
So the thermostat tries to heat the room, aggressively overcompensates, and just burns out the motor. Is that essentially what broke the algorithm?
That is a highly accurate way to visualize it.
Yeah.
I mean, what's fascinating here is the sheer scale of the environment's shift. The baseline assumptions just shattered.
Because by Friday, the mountain climbers suffered a catastrophic daily score drop. Like negative 147.8 points.
Yeah, and their season total plunged into the red at negative 126.1.
But here's where I get confused. If the market suddenly crashed like a blizzard blowing in, shouldn't the Wave Riders have capitalized on that?
You would think so, yeah.
Because their whole programming is based on surging momentum, right? They ride trends. Yet they collapse down to negative 125.3. How do both mean reversion and trend following fail at the exact same time?
Well, the mechanics of that failure are what's so interesting. The momentum logic didn't fail because there was no trend. It failed because the volatility became this high amplitude whipsaw.
Oh, so the market wasn't just dropping in a straight line.
Exactly. It was violently plummeting, triggering the Wave Riders to sell, and then violently dead cat bouncing, stopping them out.
Ouch. And meanwhile, the mountain climbers were buying those massive dips only to get crushed when the floor gave out again.
Spot on. They both got chewed up.
Wait, let me push back on this though. Is this actually a historical turning point for the market, as some of the logs suggest, or did Team AI Lab just have a poorly calibrated week? I mean, code fails all the time.
It's a fair question, but we have to look at the index contrast. That's how these bots performed relative to standard benchmarks like the Nikkei and 2PIX.
Right, the broader market context.
Yeah, and for both teams, that contrast completely flipped from positive to negative. They weren't just losing money. Their underlying mathematical models completely decoupled from market reality.
Wow. So when standard equilibrium and momentum strategies are uniformly shredded across the board, it suggests a structural breakdown in market liquidity, not just a bug in the code.
Exactly. Total systemic overwhelm. Yet despite that, there were survivors.
Adaptation versus attrition. By Friday's close, 3 mountain climber units and 5 Wave Rider units actually maintained positive points. How did they not burn their motors out?
Basically by doing less.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a hyper-aggressive environment, those surviving units likely had wider tolerance bands in their parameters. Instead of reacting to every violent micro whipsaw, their programming allowed them to just sit on their hands.
I see.
And observing why those specific units temporarily adapted while the rest were chopped to pieces, well, that provides invaluable behavioral data.
So the attrition is actually the point. It's not about the points lost. It's about mapping the parameters of the failure.
That is the core research philosophy here for Team AI Lab. This grueling week isn't viewed as a defeat. It is a season-defining watershed moment.
Right. It provides the exact stepping stones of raw, stress-tested data needed to refine next week's logic. You need the machine to break so you know where to reinforce the armor.
Exactly.
Which leaves you, the listener, with a really interesting puzzle to mull over. If both the equilibrium buyers and the momentum sellers were completely overpowered by Friday, what invisible market force actually took control of the board?
Was it a sudden vacuum of liquidity or maybe massive institutional deleveraging?
Yeah, definitely something to think about as you review the logs yourself. And remember, while this behavioral analysis is fascinating, any final investment decisions remain entirely your own responsibility.
Always.
To get closer to the data, make sure to subscribe to the channel, click the Substack link in the video description, and sign up for a Substack subscription to access all the detailed algorithmic parsing data. We'll see you on the next deep dive.